I have released a new article on my website where I explain how to paint with the pixel persona and only pixel persona in Affinity Designer. This is a walkthrough video where I explain the main highlights of this article, so if you want to learn something about it, stay tuned. So here we have the main outline of the concept we're going to be covering in the written tutorial and not so in depth here in the walkthrough video. So I will talk about the main differences between pixel and vector brushes. We will be blocking the elements. We will be talking about setting a base color, then the median and the highlights. We will be creating palettes from documents. We will also be seeing the blending brushes by Paolo Limoncelli. They are really nice when you want to blend colors. They help you out a lot. Painting and erasing with masks. And we will also be talking about Fauvism, this artistic movement. And join the group if you want extra help. We have a group on Facebook. You can ask whatever you want. Friendly people there. Just go ahead. Now let's start. One of the most important things to understand is the difference between the brushes in the pixel persona, which are these ones in this panel here, and the brushes you're going to find in the designer persona, which is this one. We're here now. You can see now this panel here, I'm going to make it smaller, is not the same as this one in here. You just have to see how it changes from one environment to the other. Okay, so the brushes in the pixel persona are bitmap based. Basically, this is a bitmap. I just go here. I'm gonna move to this canvas here. I'm gonna make this bigger and I'm gonna trace this. This, and I'm going to show you, is a bitmap, okay? Whereas if I come here and I trace with the brush, I'm gonna make it bigger and I'm gonna pick markers, for example. So you see it looks the same, but now if I select it, you can see we have nodes and this is a path. Don't get it wrong, and I always explain this because some people get confused. This is not like Illustrator's vector brushes. The only vector thing about this is this path, because this in here is an image that has been attached to the path, okay? So don't get it wrong, because you're gonna be disappointed if you think this is pure vectors. Actually, if we come here, you're gonna see clearly this is an image. Now, if we move to the article itself on my website, well, the first thing you're gonna see is that you can share it. So feel free. And I talk about what I just said. This is pixel brushes, vector brushes, the differences between them, okay? So you can see in here how I go through, how to use them, what not to do, and things like that, which is important, especially for newbies. In this article, we're gonna be working in the pixel persona fully. We're not gonna be using any kind of vectors. It's gonna be all bitmap. And I walk you through how to block the main shapes at the very beginning. Not to worry too much about the color palette you're choosing from the beginning, because then we will go through changing things through HSL layer masks or blend modes. We will see how to use masks, as you see in here, to block out some of the paint. If I uncheck this, you're gonna see how instead of painting, what I do is, let's say, painting by erasing, which makes things, well, safer, especially when you're not too used to lay paint on a canvas. So that's another interesting thing we're gonna be seeing there. Then, of course, as usual, we'll go crazy using the blend modes and trying to just decide which one is the best version, which it's always hard for me, but it's so nice. So we will see that too. Then we will talk about Fauvism, which is this French artistic movement where the use of color is not only meant to just say an apple is green and a cherry is red, but you can use colors in a more free way, in a wild way, where you can just transmit your feelings through it. I didn't go too crazy here, but as you can see, well, this is unreal. We have this green reflection of the cherry and the same for the apple. So we talk a little bit about that. So for those of you who don't know about it, you will get an introduction on Fauvism. And of course, as usual, and some other of my tutorials dedicated to digital painting, we are gonna talk about setting, first of all, blocking or sketching, then setting your base color or foundational color, adding shadows, adding highlights, and the final touches. As an extra tip, I also talk about Paolo Limoncelli's DAUB blenders, which you can download for free from his website or the Affinity website. I provide the link anyways. And I talk about how to blend colors like you seen here. And they are really, really nice. And I use them for this painting. And well, I thought it was a good tip for those of you who want to learn about painting in digital. I will also walk you through a way of painting this, because I don't paint like, you know, this. I more like to, while pressing shift on the canvas. So first I lay paint, click shift, and now I trace this line. This, now what I do is, using the eraser tool, I'm going to remove some of the paint, like that, see it? So this is the way I've been tracing some of these strokes in there. So I walk you through how to paint like that in two ways. One is destructive and the other one is non-destructive. The one destructive is what I just did. The non-destructive one is using a mask, as you see in there. Okay, so I will remove all this excess of paint by using a mask, and I show you how to do so in such a way that you can just revert what you just did. Okay, so we're gonna see magic happening. All right, now go ahead, read the article, paint something, show it to me, ask me whatever you want in the Facebook group, share this, leave a like, and you have a whole bunch of tasks for today. So thank you very much and see you next day. Bye.